What's up, guys? I'm at my $30 million penthouse mansion in the Bahamas, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Rust servers and their importance. So let's just jump into this. Like, what makes a Rust server great? Is it like the drop rates? Is it the staff? Is it the free come-ups? The Yoka plays? Okay, let me rephrase this, okay? What makes a Rust server suck? What makes it painful to play on? What makes you just wake up dreading having to play on this server today? Now, I have like 2,000 hours on Rust. That's, quite a bit. Maybe I'd say more than average, right? And I have never had a more love-hate relationship with this server. Well, this server series. The Stevious server series.
Well, Justin, what on earth makes you qualified to talk about this specific server? You're just a 3-viewer Andy on Twitch,
you might ask. So, twitch.tv/religiousjustin, by the way. I mentioned my hours earlier. 2,000, quite a bit, yeah. And according to Battle Metrics, I had the 82nd most playtime on their solo duo trio server. Which is that's pretty high, in my personal opinion. And I spend, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, damn, what am I going to do today? I'm going to go stream on Twitch. I'm going to go play on the solo duo trio server, and I'm going to just embrace the toxicity, go stream on Twitch, and just, have fun. So, I think I have just a tad bit of room to talk, considering I spend most of my waking hours just playing on these servers. So, without further ado, let's just jump into the topic. Yes, the Stevious servers. Home of some of the most toxic players found on the most toxic games on Steam. The cream of the crop. The worst of the worst. These people are past saying mean things about your mother. These people are the kind of people that simply want to watch you suffer, even if they get nothing out of it. These are the kind of people that go to the animal shelter just to laugh at dogs for being in cages. Okay, maybe that was a bit too far, but you get the point. Now I've stated why I should have some room to talk about this, but what exactly am I complaining about? Well, it's simply the player base. This video is not meant to throw shade on Stevie, it's meant to throw shade on the community he's cultivated. It wasn't until this week, where I played a different server than the solo duo trio server I main, that I realized how much of a toxic wasteland that server had become over the years. Now, I've played this server for quite some time. In fact, my first video, about a year ago, was on a Stevious server. In that video, we did end up fighting a cheater, but the server at the time honestly wasn't toxic. It was fun, it was refreshing, it was everything I wanted on a server. But as time progressed, Stevie's channel grew, along with his servers, pushing out the people that were having fun, and pulling in the people who would build 1x1 towers outside of outposts until they hit stability limit just to spend 12 of their precious waking hours with a bolt in hand and a glizzy in the other. It wasn't long before every single fight I attempted to take part in was swiftly ended by a turbo verge sitting in his 30-story tall hectagonal tower. But the part that got to me the worst was it never was the roof campers who got the loot. It was always the grubs. Which leads me to my next issue. Chapter 2. Extreme Grubbing. Something not just Stevie but so many other creators have been encouraging lately is grubbing, which is fine, in moderation. But I swear to Lord Jesus himself, I do not remember a fight where a grub didn't end up on top. The main problem with servers like this is certain grub guns, like the water pipe and the revolver, are auto-BP'd. I'm sure this was done with intent to help you progress faster, but it felt like the same kids would win boxes upon boxes of AK kits, but still never leave their base with them, simply because they knew they would end up getting grubbed by some other kid, so they would take their 200 wood and 100 metal frags, craft a water pipe at their tier 3 workbench, and run to the nearest gunshots they heard. It honestly reminded me of Legacy Rust, except instead of zombies, it would be teams upon teams of nakeds with water pipes, hiding in bushes, rocks, around corners. PvP would die on the server within days after wipe. People would be spamming chat asking why nobody is roaming. Only a day after wipe, people would be saying the server is dead, but it would be max pop, simply because nobody felt safe leaving their base with any kind of loot, as 100% of the time, it would fall into the hands of some 200-hour chump who had just watched a video titled Yoka to M2 in 20 minutes. Chapter 3. Now, I'm sure you expect the same kind of negativity in this section, but I actually have nothing bad to say about the staff on Stevious. This video is titled My Experience on Stevious, so I felt it necessary to include some of the things they have going for them. Now, my first time reporting a cheater on Stevious, I was unbelievably impressed with the performance one of the admins had shown me. He had spent roughly 8 hours trying to find irrefutable evidence to get this kid banned. He had contacted the head admins, the big boys, and eventually was able to get an EAC scan on his computer, which was the nail in the coffin. So Bassie, if you're watching this, you're doing God's work. I will say, Rust cheats are getting harder and harder to detect and prove. For example, it's incredibly hard to tell if someone with 3,000 hours is scripting, or if they just wasted that much time of their life grinding out their AK spray on UKN, which makes me understand why some admins will just drop a case on someone I had clipped beaming me from 200 meters. But other than that, the Stevia staff is some of the best I've seen on any Rust server. Far better than the staff I have seen on Garnet, who actively play on the server as well as administrate, whereas Stevious admins are simply not allowed to play, and they keep their head out of everything unless it needs their attention. Well, I've addressed all the issues I have, so it'd be incredibly rude and inconvenient to not offer a solution, so here it is. Just delete the server. Just everything. Just wipe it. All gone.